Hello everyone, I'm Nick from nextstepnick.com and today we're going to talk a bit about the Waylanders, and I have a lot to say about this. It's unbelievable. Yeah, we'll get to that though. So the title itself is very similar to stuff like Dragon Age. You're building your character, you're picking your race, your class and your background, and then you're setting out on this grand adventure in this fantasy world that's kind of based on the mythos behind things like Celtic mythology, and it's really nice. You've got that whole Tuatha thing. It's very similar to the kind of mythology you'll see inside games like Kingdoms of Amalur, and it's very rarely touched on. So I thought that was nice. I think it's a nice, interesting mythos that a lot of people are new to. So I think that's really, really fun. It's really enjoyable to see, and you think, oh, you know, this is all new to me. Makes a bit of a change from the usual, which is your elves, your dwarves, those kind of things, and I really like that. There's a lot of customization when it comes to the character as well, and you can go down to sort of your micro customization. You're a bit limited, you know, you can't exactly use sliders to fully customize, but it's quite nice. You can really feel like you're making your own character. There's even sort of pronouns and bits, so that's kind of sweet. You've got really nice characterization there, and you can really build someone you associate with, and I thought that was a cool little touch. The characters in the game as well seem quite well established. They've got their own personalities, and cutscenes seem a little bit eldritch. I think it's something to do with the animation. It's this kind of, I don't know, almost claymation-y style to the faces, but they work, and when the voice acting hits, it hits quite nicely. It's a little bit cheesy, but I can live with that. You've got your own voice actions as well and choices in regard to what you say, but there's so many times when it doesn't really work, but we'll get into that. I mean, here's a scene where it does.
Some of us learned to shut up before we turned 30.
Be nice, my dear. The sun hasn't even risen yet.
Yeah, because nighttime is when no one ever does or says anything naughty.
You're insufferable.
See, it's kind of sweet. It's a little bit cheesy, but I can get behind it. But it's so broken. It's so broken. I mean, here I'm meant to wake up the prince. I knock on the door to wake the prince up. The king appears because apparently the prince gets drunk a lot. Next thing I know, I'm on the ship. Everyone is talking on the main deck of the ship about a big fight that we apparently witnessed. Didn't see it. I didn't know we had a fight. I literally only have these characters' word to go by, and I thought, oh, maybe this happened in the background, but everyone's talking as if I was there. And this happens loads of times. I mean, here the king says to go and get some sleep, or basically to go back to my cabin, so I did. There's a little bit of a pan out, and the next scene, I'm not kidding, the very next scene is just this huge battlefield where loads of people are injured. And I don't know what happened. You know, the game freezes from time to time, and then suddenly we're on this. The king's laying there, and he's really badly injured. I don't know how. I don't know where we are. Last time I checked, we were on a boat, and it does that the whole way through the story. It just jumps from place to place. Suddenly there are these bad guys eating bodies, and the prince is under a log, and I saved him, and he said we need to kill these guys who I've never met before, and I don't know who they are. I know we were travelling somewhere to do something for like a MacGuffin, but I don't know what we were doing. Likewise, the combat's kind of interesting. It's very much a case of picking your tactics and fighting when it works, but so many times the game just kind of freezes, and it doesn't freeze everything else. That's how I know there's some issue here in regards to stability, because characters will T-pose, or the game will just suddenly freeze. Like, I'm pausing right now, so the game is paused right now, fair enough. But there are moments where you perform an action, for example, the music carries on playing, I can even move the map, I can even turn the camera, but for some reason the models are frozen. And it's just weird. Other times I use attacks and you click multiple times, they don't work. One time I loaded up the game and literally everything was gone. The user interface was gone, the player was gone. At one point my head disappeared. The character there just fell down and died. I don't know who he is. 2 minutes later he's back up again. I think he's from the ship. I kind of vaguely recognise him, but I don't know what's going on. There's some really nicely implemented stuff like this, the formations, where you can kind of form a formation with other players, and it's really nice. But then look at this. I charge forward, nice and smooth, and I was checking my CPU this whole time to make sure how we're running here, and it's a bit frame ratey, but it's okay. And then all of a sudden, just... and at this point, I'm kind of a bit bewildered because... And then all of a sudden, click, we're back in. It's just... It jars you out of the combat so badly. And like this cutscene here, who's talking to who? I don't know. It's just... It's so weird. It's got the basis of an interesting game. It's got some interesting lore. It's got some interesting backstory when you see bits of it. And the combat system could be better, but it's there. And then it's just so broken. I mean, at the end of this, I was going to leave this review for a few days because I was working on other bits. I had to do it because I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen anything like this. I mean, here I'm in combat. What's happened? I don't know. My caster is apparently glitching all over the place. When I'm trying to click and go back into combat, I can't because when I'm selecting these guys, she's sprinting off into the distance. And I don't know what's happening. 2 of my characters died. I don't know how. They just fell down. She was in combat a minute ago. Now she's over here. And then look at this cutscene. I mean, I wasn't going to leave this in, but look at this cutscene. I couldn't believe it. I might bring the audio back at this point. I'm not sure yet. But there's no characters there. Some of the audio isn't hitting. A lot of the characters, you'll notice the subtitles aren't matching up. I mean, that's an interesting shot for a start. It's just insane. I don't know how this has got to this stage where there are so many issues. There are so many issues. And it's a shame because the team behind this game have worked on things before like Fallout. And, well, then again, I guess that says a lot, doesn't it? But there were some really big names on this project that I recognise and I respect as writers. And then this, just, what? Huh? What? You know, I don't know what's happening. Half the cutscenes have disappeared. The players have disappeared. Her staff has gone through her chest, so she's clearly dead. I don't know what's going on. This is just insane. I've not seen anything this bad in... I honestly don't know. I've never seen anything that's left me so confused. At this point when I was playing, I was just laughing. Because what's going on? I literally just absolutely insane. I mean, here, what? And then, well, okay, and I'm back, and my team is standing there, but they're dead, and oh no, I'm dead too. Yeah. So I'd say maybe avoid this for now. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and hopefully I'll catch you again very soon.